So yesterday we did section 1210. Same section today. We're just going to do a couple more examples. Same basic idea. Okay, so keep in mind the goal. Okay, you're going to graph two inequalities. Okay, decide if it should be a solid or a shaded line, and then either shade above or below. Look for the overlap. Okay. Look at those two inequalities. First one's fine. How do we know it's fine?
Good. Goes in y.
Yeah, it's the y and the mx plus b on the other side. That one's good. Okay, the one on the right, it's not that bad. There's just one thing we got to fix.
X. Number 2.
What's the one thing I have to do? Right?
Subtract 2.
Subtract 2. Okay, once I subtract 2 from both sides, Sam, what's going to be on the right-hand side? Sam, what'll be on the right-hand side now? 3x minus 2. Okay. Now we've got our inequalities, okay, that we're going to graph. Okay, Joe, can you give me my first step to graphing that inequality?
Go up 1.
Up 1, what do you do when you go up 1?
You mark the dot.
Yep, put a dot, perfect. You going to keep going? Yeah, go ahead.
I think you go over 3 to the right.
So Joe said over 3 to the right. Does everyone agree with that? Do we go right 3? Think of your slope, rise over run. So the number on top is up and down.
Okay.
So we're going to go 3 up. And then 1 over which way? To the right. Okay, I generally do it at least twice. The reason I do it twice is to get a good line. Okay, Dominic, solid line or dotted line?
Dotted.
How do you know?
Because there's not a line underneath the inequality tab.
Exactly. Whoa.
That was
I think it's the user.
All right, so put in your line. I got to make it dotted. I think there's a way I can make it dotted without having to change it, but good enough. Now, if you want to shade, you can shade, or if you just want to put the arrows indicating which side you're going to shade on, that's fine too. Okay, Tyler, we've got a greater than. Where do you shade for greater than? Above or below?
Above.
Above. Good.
Guys, I know some people didn't see that. That was perfect by Tyler. He wasn't. We're not expecting you guys. If you know where you have to shade, that's fine. But he had his sheet out from yesterday. He looked at it as reference. He said, "Okay, shade above." That's fine. You don't have to memorize where you have to shade. We're not expecting that.
Okay, and don't forget, the reason we're not going to shade it all in is because we're going to have an X shape. Well, in this case, we're not going to have an X shape. So just shade it.
We want to wait and see.
Yeah, see what happens. Whether you have the X shape or not, don't shade because we don't know if that's the answer yet. We've got to get that other line. Okay? What's going to happen when I draw that other line? Look at the two slopes. They're going to be parallel. So I'm just going to make a copy of that line. It's going to be the same slope. What's going to be the y-intercept though? Well, what is it, Victoria? -2. Down 2. Okay. What I'll do, I'll make it red so you guys can see it.
How do you know to shade to the left on the first line?
Well, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Because we got to shade where we have the overlap. Okay. On the red line, I got less than. Is that above it or below it?
Below.
It's below it. So I'm shading this way. Where would they overlap?
Nowhere.
Nowhere.
No
Yep.
solution.
So that means it's no solution. Okay, that was kind of like a warm-up from yesterday. That's the one we ended with yesterday, no solution. Now, if you had parallel lines, does that always automatically mean no solution?
No.
No. Okay. if the inequalities were different, okay, so that you were shading below the black and above the red, then you'd be shading that little strip in the middle. Okay? But they'd have to be switched. So I don't want you to draw parallel lines and just write no solution. Check the shading and see. Okay, any questions on that? All right, so previous example, no solution. All right, so we're going to try two problems where we take it one step further. Instead of drawing two lines and looking for where the overlap is, we're going to draw three.
So is it going to create a triangle?
It could, if you had three lines and you were like shading below, and then you had another one where you're shading below, and then you had another one where you're shading above. Could be. You might end up shading in there. It depends on how the lines cross. Yeah. It could be a triangle. Okay. Could also be something like, here's one line, say shade to the right of it, another line, shade above it, and then another line could be shade above it. So you might end up getting this wide open space. Okay. Above, and to the right. So it might not always be a triangle. Okay, let's look at this one. Okay, got a couple special cases. First one, x is greater than or equal negative 3.
You might want to pay attention to this because we had a special case on one of the questions at the end of the day yesterday, one of the little slip problems, and people had a hard time with that after Mr. Hager and I looked at it. So there's going to be some of these there's a couple of these on the test tomorrow they're going to need to know how to graph. So I'd be paying attention right now.
Mr. Roy went over this yesterday. I think he did a warm-up with it. Okay, how do you graph x is greater than negative 3? Negative 3 on which axis?
X.
On the x.
So you go up.
And now where do you put your line?
Up and down.
Up and down. Okay? Anytime you've got x by itself, it's up and down. Okay? Dotted or solid? Yep.
Okay, does it matter if it's dotted or solid?
Yes.
Started.
That depends on your symbol. Okay, how many people think solid for this one?
No,
Greater than.
Dotted.
Dotted. Good. Okay, so I'll put it in and I'll change it to dotted. Okay, next one. Another special case. Y is less than or equal to 2. Okay, how do I do that one? Put a dot on the y-axis where? At 2.
Go across.
Which way is it crossed, Tyler? Left and right? Yep.
Yeah.
Solid or dotted line?
Solid.
Solid. Okay. Let's stop for a second, just figure out which way we're shading. Okay. On the first one we did, greater than negative 3. Where are the numbers on that dotted line greater than negative 3? To the left or to the right? To the right. Okay, so on that dotted line, you're shading everything right. How about the solid line? Where are the numbers that are less than or equal to 2? Well, it's horizontal, so above or below?
Below.
Below. Okay, so we already know right now we're limited to this area below and to the right. We've got one more line. Okay. Is that last line ready to graph?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wait, how many lines are there? I see arrows and...
Two lines so far.
Are you sure there's 2 lines?
Yep.
Mr. Hager, maybe if you change those colors on the lines.
So our first line we'll do,
That's on the wrong one.
Yeah, you labeled the X as the wrong one.
oh, thank you.
It might help too, Mr. Hager. Even if you guys, we don't have different, like I was doing it today, like in some other guys. If you want to just number them, like put a one next to the inequality, then a 1 next to that line. Put a 2 next to the inequality, then put a 2 next to the line it represents. It does get a little confusing. So like Mr. Hager's doing, he's putting numbers, just so you can see. So equation 1, x is greater than -3 is the red, and then y is less than or equal to 2, that's the green line. All right? And Mr. Hager's going to do the next one blue.
Okay, how do I graph this last one? First, so put a dot at -1, and then up to right 1. Up to right 1. Okay. Now put that line in blue. Solid or dotted?
It's solid.
Solid. Okay, and make that blue. That's line 3. Okay. So for that blue line, where are we shading? Above or below? What's the symbol?
Above.
It's a greater than, so that's above. 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 Okay, so we need to shade above the blue, to the right of the red, and below the green. So what kind of shape did we get?
Triangle.
Yeah, this time it's going to be in that triangle. Okay, so shade that in. So you're shading to the right of the red, you're shading below the green, and you're shading above the blue. Right in here. So it's a little more confusing because you got 3, but it's the same idea as 2, and you'll never have more than 3. 3 is the most we'll ever give you. Okay, any question on that? Yep.
What's going to be like on the test?
Yep, you're going to have a couple that have 3. Yep. Okay, any other question? Okay, everybody feel okay doing the 3?
Guys, there will be one on the test tomorrow like that. It's only one, but we need to put it on there.
Okay. You guys ready for the last one?
Yep.
It's not any harder than this. It's going to be 3 again. Okay, a couple of these look okay to me. Got y by themselves. How about this last one?
No.
Zero.
No.
Okay, on this last one,
Minus.
what I want you to do,
Has to be rearranged.
we're going to rearrange it.
Make the y a plus.
Make the y plus.
Because Mr. Hunter doesn't know what he's doing.
No, that was a Mr. Hager didn't know what he was
That
doing.
No, the one on the homework last night.
So when somebody
I'm
makes a
not
mistake,
taking the blame for this one.
Gosh.
okay, so just make it plus y instead of minus y. Okay, again, the reason why we're making it a plus is because we don't want to have to divide by a negative. We've already done that. That's not on this test, so we're not going to focus on it. One step to get y by itself. What do you do? How do you move?
Minus 2.
Minus what?
2x.
2x.
If you want to take the x over.
What's going to be on the right?
3 minus 2x.
You could write it as 3 minus 2x.
Plus 3.
Let's write it as negative 2x plus 3. All right, so we got our 3 inequalities. I number them. I'm going to use the colors that I numbered them with. Okay, Wyatt, can you tell me how I graph y is greater than or equal to negative x plus 2?
Well, start at 2 on the y-axis.
Yep.
Put a dot.
So put a dot on 2, and then where do you go from there?
Down 1 and over right.
Down 1 and right 1. Perfect. Okay, last thing to decide on this one. Solid.
Is that down 1 over 1?
Yep.
Which one? Oh, this, I'm guessing number 1.
This is number 1.
It's solid.
Solid. Yep. Solid line. Okay, when I shade, is it going to be above it or below it? Above. Okay, greater than. Remember the chart, greater than is above. Shade above. Okay, don't shade it in yet because we're going to have some more lines that limit where we shade.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, number 2. Y is greater than 0. Special case. Where do you put the dot? Right in the middle, right at the origin.
This one's a little bit challenging.
Now, where do you put your line?
0.
You don't.
It's either horizontal or vertical.
It's not horizontal.
Right. Anytime y is by itself, that's horizontal. Anytime x is by itself, that's vertical. So put a horizontal line right through that dot. Solid or dotted?
Dotted, but how does
Dotted.
do that? Yeah, how do you do dotted?
How are
Dotted?
we going to do that if we were on air?
That's the best I can do.
On ours. It's very solid.
Yeah, on yours because it's already drawn. What I might do is just draw it just above it a little bit, just a little, so you can see it. Okay. Okay, we're gonna shade above or below. Above.
And guys, somebody just said to me, like, from the last one to this one, like the last one, your line was going like this, and now your first line's going like this, and it's like, how did that happen? Does anybody know why? The last one, like the first one of the lines was going this way, and all of a sudden one of the lines is going this. Now this problem, it's going this way. How come, Matt? It's a negative slope, right? In the last one, we were dealing with a positive slope, but this one, the slope is negative. That's why a line's going the other way. All right, that's why it's going the opposite. That's why it's going the opposite direction. All right.
I'm so confused.
Okay, last one. Travis, can you tell me how to start to graph that?
Start by starting at 3 up.
Okay, guys, I'm trying to hear Travis. Go ahead, Travis.
3 up.
Go 3 up. Okay. And now, we don't have a number in the bottom, so if you want to put one, put it over 1. Who can tell me from that point, how do I graph it? A couple more. Down 2?
To the right one.
To the right 1. Okay. Down 2, right 1. Okay, so these red and blue lines, they're going to be pretty close with their slopes. Okay, they're pretty close. Solid or dotted? Solid.
Your blue dots don't mind. Oh, wait.
Okay, are we shading above that line or below? Below. Shade below. Okay, now we're going to figure out where we're going to shade. Okay, we are below the blue, above the red, and above the green. Where does that happen? Yeah, it's right in this area here. Okay, above the red, below the blue, and above the green. Okay, everyone see that? That's above the red, it's below the blue, and it's all above the green. Any questions on that? So this time, did the area that you shade end up being a triangle?
Yes.
No, it didn't. It didn't end up being a triangle. In fact, this time, did that green line even make a difference? No. If the green line wasn't there, watch what happens. Above the red, below the blue, it would still be the same answer. So this time that third line didn't even matter. Okay? It was like an extra line. I thought maybe as we were going through this, we might end up shading like inside this little area, but that wouldn't be above the red. That'd be below the red in that area. Okay. Great. Any question on that? Question on that?
Everybody good?
Think you have a question?
Mark, you have a question? You sure? Can I ask you a question? Huh? Can I ask you a question? I'm gonna think of one first.
All right. So we're good. All right. So that's the end of the type of problems you're going to see on the test. Okay. So the homework tonight, it's going to be a study guide. Okay. We're not going to pass the study guide out yet. We're going to do a little game to review.